Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Dares TV. I'm back with another review, and this one is of South Park Season 25, Episode 2, The Big Fix. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video for everything new up and coming that has to do with South Park. I'll be doing reviews on. Let's start this review of this episode. This episode was a lot more funnier than the previous episode, I think. Character Randy has always been, one of the goofiest characters on South Park, so I love seeing an episode that's sort of centered around him. He starts the episode off by going to this, like, cannabis expo. He's totally high, off his rockers. He's scared of basically, I think, like, white owned weed businesses, like they're like black owned weed businesses. And I think it was something about weed businesses are going to start to become more popular or something like that, and it somehow is going to end up affecting his weed business. So he completely that takes his whole high away. So he goes to his family, wants his family to start becoming more closer with black people and stuff like that. Not that I don't think he cared much, obviously beforehand. It's all basically to help his weed business basically. So he wants his family to become more cooler with black folks and stuff like that. Then Stan ends up going to talk to his friend Token, and tells him, "Hey, how about your family? Come to my family have dinner and stuff like that." And Token's family goes to Stan's family for dinner and stuff like that. And Randy is taking pics to make it seem like he's cool with black people and stuff like that. And just trying to pander and stuff like that, make himself look good on Instagram. Randy asks about Token's name, and it's from an author. And Randy thought his name meant Token Black Guy. Now, I honestly thought his name was always Token the Black Guy too. So I thought that's what the writers are going. I mean, clearly that's what the writers are going for. Token, he's black, and he's the only black kid at the South Park school. So, but then I guess we find out that all these years actually Tolkien is off of, I guess, a writer in the South Park world. I don't know if this writer is real or not, but they're like supposed to be a writer that's, I think, based off the Lord of the Rings. So I don't know if this person is real or not, but his name is actually pronounced Tolkien, not Token Black Guy. I thought his name was Token Black Guy. I thought that's what his name was. Actually, his whole name is Token Black. So clearly that's what the writers are going for. But now they changed it to Token. That was clever though on the writers' part. I like that. Randy keeps taking pics, with Steve at his farm and stuff like that. He wants to go business with Steve. And even Stan is shocked by Token's real name. Well, Tolkien, whatever. And this whole episode is basically Randy sort of trying to, I guess, pander, to Steve so he can, so it wouldn't really affect his Wii business, I believe. And even has Randy even has a picture they took on a billboard. Steve doesn't, he doesn't like all this stuff like that. He was only hired to be an accountant, and Randy wants to get him into a higher position, just so he can have a better successful weed business. And I did find one thing that Steve said was kind of interesting. He says that he doesn't believe in drinking or drugs and stuff like that, which I feel like also kind of go against the stereotype that Randy may have had towards black folks. They might thinking that blacks smoke weed and drink liquor and stuff like that, and he's not even into that. He's actually a successful businessman, and it just goes against a lot of Randy's possible already prejudiced views anyway. As you can see from that one infamous clip that he did when he was doing, I think, Family Feud. Not Family Feud. It was Wheel of Fortune, and they had to find a missing the word, and it was like people that are annoying, and it said naggers, and he said, "You get what I'm saying?" That was probably the funniest scene I think I've ever seen in um South Park. That was a legendary clip. I love that. Just shows how ignorant Randy can be. Stan goes to the hospital for quote unquote being racist, and the cop, the doctor's like, "Yo, you can't come to the hospital for being racist. That's something you can go to the hospital for." And then the doctor finds out that Stan thought his thought goes off on him about Token's name and stuff like that. He thought it meant Token Black, and the doctor completely goes off on him like, "Oh, you make me sick," and just everybody just you know. Stan, he reads J.R.R. Tolkien. I guess that's supposed to be based off of the woman that made the Harry Potter movies. I forgot her name, J.R. or something. I don't remember. I guess the name is supposed to be based off of either the writer of um the Game of Thrones books, maybe mixed in with the writer that made the Harry Potter books. I don't know what they're because I honestly the name actually sound like a name of a science fiction novel artist. So I don't know, but Stan is reading a book in a black voice. I don't know what's up with that. It's just one of the funniest things that South Park do. Just random stuff. He's reading a book in a black guy voice. Then Randy sings the song about like race. About black and white puppies. Stuff like that. And Randy just now I understand. Randy just completely tone deaf. He just doesn't understand it racially. He's just completely tone deaf. But he's a funny character. Everybody knows Tolkien's name is actually pronounced Tolkien from the author, and Stan ends up talking to the class about it, and then he ends up having Tolkien stay outside while he's talking about race. Sort of segregating him, not even noticing what he's doing. I love, like I said, the writers on South Park are hilarious. The way they write stuff. Um, and Stan Bass just kind of comes off like a politically correct white person trying to like pander to black folks and stuff like that, trying to make a whole big deal about his name. Even has an assembly, where all the kids come together about it. Randy's getting high on his own supply, of course, and Steve is, feels that Randy doesn't listen to him and just has him only there as a token black guy, and he ends up leaving. And just to show how tone deaf Randy is, he even says that he doesn't even sound like a black guy. Like, so saying that, that he doesn't sound black. Stan is just, I mean, Randy is just, crazy. And Token ends up checking the key, and then Stan also has this meeting, right? There's this whole school board meeting, some auditorium in the auditorium about Token's name, and he brings Token down, and Token just decides to just check the whole school about his name, and it has a mic drop like, yo, he checks everybody about his name. He didn't have a choice in what his name was, and and wants people to quit, harassing about his name. And then Tolkien tells Stan his dad, bought a farm across the street, and Randy completely loses it, and Steve, voice turns black. I don't know why now. He's actually putting on like a black accent, even though he's black himself. As he sells some weed to some white couple that comes along. Randy's mad, and he's back to sort of unknowingly coming off racist and stuff like that, wanting to kick Token out of his house and all this stuff like that. And then Steve got on his black guy voice all of a sudden. And then at the end of the episode, the doctor pops up at the end and tells people off about, Token's name again to tie off the episode. I think this episode was a lot more funnier. The whole Integrity Read stuff, I guess that was from previous seasons. I don't really remember where that was from, but I don't know. This episode was a lot more funnier, just a lot of the, you know, writing was a lot more funnier. The comedy was a lot more clever and stuff like that in this episode. And, I like the whole racial undertones going on and, the tone deaf and Randy being tone deaf and Randy, not Randy, Stan, you know, pandering and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty funny. I don't have much else to say about this episode. Of course, I don't have any um, theories of what the next episode is going to be about because, South Park is one of them shows where they just make up whatever each episode unless they sometimes have a long running storyline. I don't, every episode is episodic. They have a new episode about something brand new almost each episode. So I don't know, but this episode, what was it called? The Big Fix. I thought it was pretty funny, and yeah, I love it when they do this type of stuff. I don't care about the gross humor that South Park does, but this type of witty, I can't explain it. This political type of humor, I don't know what it is, but I find that funny when South Park does. The writers, I love when they do that. When they, write certain racial stuff, kind of a little bit when it's about, the black experience. I kind of find that like they had it in a video game when if you play a black person in one of the South Park video games, the game gets harder. I like stuff like that. I like that type of clever writing that they do. So this episode was good, and if you like South Park, whatever like that, I'll be doing reviews of whatever else they have coming out this year or next year. So like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And thanks.